Assalamu alaikum, Modu Sonko. Please let me know, Modu, if you can hear me loud and clear, please. Thank you. I'll just leave it a few seconds to start this brief program. Thank you. Okay, thank you. You can hear me. Thank you. I just want to do a brief program. I've not even had my lunch yet. I was coming from Juma, and I have tons of messages coming from Gambian pilgrims and their families. Tons of messages crying out for their suffering and the difficulties they are facing right now in Mecca. They all said things were a little bit better in Medina, but the food was very, very bad. But when they got to Mecca, it's just disaster, complete disaster. They are suffering right now. It's only Allah that will accept their pilgrimage, but the Gambia government had made it technically very difficult for them to perform their rites of the pilgrimage after paying Gambia being one of the most expensive destinations to participate in this package to Mecca. I want to give a quick background to this. Why I said that I am going to agitate for to Ahmad Bah. Many Gambians will remember during the Eid prayers, the Korite prayers, when the Banjul Council of Elders and other Muslim elders went to State House to meet the president. Ahmad Bah came out very loudly, making impressions and taking all the glory, and to say that he had fixed all the problems for the issues surrounding the pilgrimage to Mecca. He made statements and said that the president tasked him to fix all these problems. And one of those things he said, he introduced this year, he said all Gambians are going to live under one roof. He said all the Gambian pilgrims will stay under one roof. And this is 2,000 pilgrims. 2,000 pilgrims and a little bit more. And he said again that both in Medina and Mecca, but we are going to concentrate in Mecca today. But he said then both in Medina and Mecca, they would have the shortest distance to travel from their hotel to the haram, where they need to pray and do their tawaf at the Kaaba. He said it would be shortest. He said 5 minutes. I've emphasized, Ahmad Bah said 5 minutes. And Ahmad Bah said that they are going to take Gambian cooks to cook for this thing so that they will have the best meals available. And he again said, because of they're going to have all the Gambians under one roof, it makes it easier for them to be attended by doctors when it is necessary, or to have their regular checkups whilst they're there. This was the promise Ahmad Bah made. And when he made the promise, he said, and they even reduced the cost to be cheaper than anywhere else, which was a lie. When Ahmad Bah made that statement, I knew it was a lie. How do I know? Because when Ahmad Bah shouts, means that he's lying. He thinks that the louder he shouts, then he can cover his lies. And when he said that too, there's a reason when you have operations, you decentralize the operation. You don't put all your eggs in one basket. There's a reason. In management, when you do certain things, you separate, you try to have different compartments in order that if one fails, the others would thrive. But if you put everything under one roof, if you have a problem, there's no option of moving these people to another place. But if you have an option of having Gambians as it was, and the English do say, if it's not break, don't fix it. Don't try to fix it. It's not break. It was better the way it was. It was better the way it was, when you have the operators to run and they can be held accountable directly for their operations. Then if you have 5 operators, 6 operators, 7 operators, they go around and seek the best hotels, and it's competitive. Because when you have 7 operators operating to take people to Hajj and bring them back, they want their customers to be happy so that they can sell the other year, so that these customers will be doing the advertisement for them. But now you put everything, monopolize everything again, monopolize everything, put it under one umbrella, and Ahmad Bah to run it with his committees, these corrupt committees. When he made the statement, we did a quick investigation. When we made the investigations, we went and find out which hotels or areas he identified for the people to stay in Mecca and Medina. We debunked it by using technology. Unfortunately, I'm not using my laptop. It's still technically playing up. I have my phone with me. I could have pointed out the names of the hotel, the distance and everything. But we posted that. We wrote an article and posted this, showing the distance between the hotel and the haram. It was 43 minutes for a normal fit person to walk. 43 minutes, almost an hour. And it was a hilly area. If you have to go up, it's very hilly, and coming down is very steep down there. You have to be very careful the way it was on top of a hill. We made the findings to find out that Ahmad Bah lied. It was not for 5 minutes distance. Just imagine for a minister to come out and lie in front of a council of elders and in front of the president, and to lie to the nation and lie to the people that have paid almost $500,000 to go for their pilgrimage. That it was 5 minutes. We debunked it, said it's not 5 minutes, it's about 43 minutes. And we are vindicated again. We don't want to be vindicated. We don't want to be vindicated. But we are responsible again. So when we come out, we will tell the facts. Now, what transpired today? A few days ago, we got messages from Medina. It wasn't that bad, but they complained about the food. And when we saw Open Gambia, Watson Gambia publish the food, we all see a bit of yellow rice, something like chicken breast, coated chicken breast, 3 pieces of this thing, and about, I did count it, it was about 11 to 12 chips, sticks of chips. That's all it was. And this is for lunch, dinner actually. They have breakfast and dinner, there's nothing like lunch. Now, today, it was like frantic messages coming, trying to get hold of us to agitate this for their conditions. And not only that, when I posted right now to come on the program, Pamodu Bojang of Mimbekering contacted me and said, oh, I had few other people contact me, and I was trying to do a due diligence on this. Hence you have half the same thing, and we collaborated stories and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, he's gonna cover it tonight at Mimbekering. But I am just doing a brief agitation here, and inshallah Sunday with Alaji Salu, we're going to cover this in depth. And we had the most prominent message we have a husband who's in the Gambia, who have received audios, and the husband passed the audios to me to listen to what the wife have complained about. And luckily, the wife is a little bit younger than most of the average people going to Hajj. And when I got the message, I spoke to the husband who have gone to Hajj many times and Umrah, and know about the experiences and challenges and everything. I reached out to one of our family members who had lived in Saudi Arabia for over 26 years, have done this routinely and still have contacts in there. It's not to doubt what a friend told me, but it's just to make sure we have more information to collaborate before coming out. When I asked this Ajah to help to reach out to people that he knows personally, because some of the information we got, we don't know them. I will not run with information. I don't know who sending me that information. But the Ajah, contacted actually a daughter during the Hajj, and the exact information came around, and showing the total failure of this rearrangement that Ahmad Bah made. And we said, let me point out this. What we find out from our investigation was that Ahmad Bah made money, him and the people he worked with, by organizing this the manner he did. I cannot recall everything, but how the money was made is one to force the operators, the private operators, to pay upfront a large sum of money well before the time that they were due to do that. And this have made them to force most of the private operators to take a loan from Ajib Bank, which is an Islamic finance. They have to take a loan to do this. In order for Ahmad Bah to take the cash, and actually did not pay, he did not pay he avoided certain mechanisms that had been put in place in Mecca, for the payment to be processed. In that sense, that even he took risk, and in that way that he can get his kickback from it. We reported that. He did not, it's not that he arranged this and looking for the best options or not. He arranged it to get something out of it, and this is what we anticipated was going to happen, and is happening right now. Now, first, the information is about food. Food, this is the problem they have. They are given 2 meals from morning and evening. If you go to Hajj or you go to Umrah, you'll understand that's not the problem. But if the meals are right for breakfast and the meals are right in the evening, because in most of the time you are so charged up, you are so much inspired and so on, you hardly eat that much during the day. And another thing to people try to control their bowels so that they will not have need for the toilet when they are outside their hotels, so that they can stay longer in the mosque or stay longer wherever they are doing their rituals or this thing before they go back. The amount of the quality of food is the question here. It's not amount of food that morning breakfast, lunch and dinner, no. It's about the breakfast to be the quality required, the dinner to be the quality required, to be nutritious, and to help them to have the energy to carry on. But first, the quality, the nutrition is very poor, reported by them. But not only that, they have to, let me look at this again. They, to serve the meals, at times they have to wait for almost 2 hours in the line. They have to wait almost 2 hours, either to have their breakfast or to have their evening meal. That's 4 hours out of the day, or let's say average, even if it's 1 hour, they have to wait. Some of them have to wait, but obviously the people that get first would not have to wait for an hour. But there will be many people that will be coming last or at the back of the queue will be waiting average 1 hour or more in order to get their meal. The meal is not good, and it's time to, this is again the reason why things are decentralized. This is again why things are decentralized. And to wait that long to have your meal is really too long for anyone to be waiting for their, or queuing for their meal. It's not that you sit and wait for your meal to be served. You go there, queue and collect your meal and come back. And that's too much for a time to do. But why again? Because they have 2,000 pilgrims in one hall. Imagine, however big the hall is. People that have traveled to Mecca and Medina would know the sizes of halls at hotels and stuff like that. But however big they are, 2,000 people together. And again, I don't want to go deep into it, but infection control and everything else would be a challenge. You see, this is all the reason why things are decentralized. 2,000 people have to wait or be within the same hall in order to receive their food and eat their food. And this is what is causing the long queue. And again, imagine the catering. I forgot to ask if when we do a comprehensive program, we'll find out who are doing the catering. Ahmad Bah promised that Gambians will be doing the catering. How many people would you need to do this catering, and the quality of catering will be affected if you have to cook that much? Again, this is why this decentralization was the best option. But Ahmad Bah wanted to have his kickback. He will have to centralize everything and have volume and then make profit. The other challenges, and again, for people to ask, or they paid for this. It's something they have paid for, part of their package. Or even if they choose to eat somewhere else, it's another hassle to leave your hotel or order your food or everything else is a hassle. And we all know some of our pilgrims are a little bit elderly. They are not that tech savvy and all those kind of things. It's not. They paid for for service. They should have get the service delivered. Now, the other main challenge is 2,000 people living in a apartment complex, part of a hotel. I am not going to talk about the living conditions today because I have asked for more detail on that. But just imagine 2,000 people, how big that place would be. Most likely it would be congested. Many people will be sharing rooms. I know it's a norm that people would share rooms and stuff like that, but how many? How many of them would be? We will find out that in detail when we do our program on Askani Gambia Radio. But the problem with this is they have 6 elevators. Now, according to the reports we are receiving, it takes about an hour to use the elevators. For many people, it takes them an hour to use the elevator to leave the building, or take them an hour to use the elevator to their apartments. This is another long waiting time, and apparently some people have been irritated, and they've been kind of having a little bit of conflict or argument in trying to access the lifts going up or coming down, because of the 2,000 people all want to go and do their thing around the same time, and this becomes a challenge. Now, this is another discomfort, or in fact not only a discomfort, because discomfort is something you expect when you go to pilgrimage, but it's a suffering, unnecessary suffering that is happening, that previously years it wasn't that bad, or if it was that bad, it wasn't that bad, and it could have been easily localized to the operator itself, because they will have different operators, and those operators will have done their utmost to give the best services so that their business will be sustainable. They will need to do any adverts, and people that went would be their mouthpiece to advertise this. But government centralized this and made people suffer for no reason after spending that much money for a little bit of I mean, normality, not even comfort, and they fail to do that. Yes, the using the elevator is another this thing. We talk about the food. We talk about the food, the quality of food, the time to consume this food, and so on. Now we talk about the elevator, the challenge of accessing the elevators in and out of the building. Now the other thing now is distance. The hotel is minimum, and this is for someone who is fit, healthy, younger. That they say they're using minimum 43 minutes to get to the haram, to the mosque. 43 minutes. That's a fit person, and it's a hilly kind of place. The shuttle services, they organize. They said that it's just useless. You rather just take to your food and drag and get to where you want to go, because the shuttle services doesn't take you close to the haram. You have to walk from that distance again, would be another calculated distance. They rather walk to get to the haram. This is another bit of challenge they have reported. And this particular person said that the wife decided to be spending the entire period in the mosque. Once he leaves the hotel and goes to the mosque, the wife would not come back until they pray the last prayer, and he will Maghrib prayers. Then she would go back home and pray the Isha prayers at the hotel and stay. And said that many people stay not going to the mosque to pray, rather to pray inside the hotel, because of the distance and the challenge to get there. Taxis during Umrah is easy. During Hajj it's not easy to navigate. There's exclusive zones close to the thing. But they have already paid for all the services, and they were promised a distance of 5 minutes, and that's not been delivered. And when private operators were doing it, they are relatively given a satisfactory services, rather than what the challenges they have now. And these are the reports we are having, and apparently they said that apparently there's a TV station there, QTV, but they don't have the confidence that QTV is going to transmit their experience that they're facing. That's why they reach out to us to bring this out in the open. Thank you very much, guys. As I said, it's just going to be brief, just to agitate it here now, to put it out there for people to be aware. But before going in fact, I'll come to and I'll elaborate a little bit. This is quite worrying. We are witnessing that there's nothing this NPP government does to the interest of the people. Now they have changed this this Hajj thing because of the only reason they did this is to make money out of it, and people are suffering. But again, the so-called Minister for Agriculture have been running around politicking. When our farmers have not been paid from when they sold or they hand over their produces from December today. Our farmers, some of our farmers have not been paid. That is unprecedented. It has never happened in the history of the Gambia. It has never happened. Credit buying, in fact, started in Jammeh time, but it has never gone past 2 months without people getting their things. And from December to now it's 5 months. People went through Ramadan. People went through Korite. People are going through Tobaski today, not getting their money. Why? But this government can turn around within 2 days to order 100 vehicles. Yes, and we know that they only accepted 87 vehicles, and the rest of the vehicles are just invoices, and they put it in to their bank accounts. They can do that. But in 5 months, they cannot fix our farmers. And these are the same government that will run to the farmers to talk about tribalism, run to the farmers to talk about whatever that would divide us. But they don't have the interest of the farmers. And these are sons and daughters of farmers, but they don't care. This is another thing. And thirdly, again, when we agitated about Jar Oil monopoly on cement, we have the Jar Oil propaganda come out. Some of the so-called social media influencers come out to debunk us. Because we know that a monopoly was never a solution, especially when you don't have an industry to protect. People started, some of this propaganda started to play the nationalist card. And these are the same people supporting a government that could not even trust their security forces to guard them. But they can be nationalistic when they choose to. They started saying that, oh, our cement industry, we don't have a cement industry. We argue that if you stop the competition, prices will go up. If you stop the competition, scarcity will prevail. And that scarcity can be even deliberately be done in order to push prices. In order to push prices. It was around this time, last year. It's not even over a year. The prices have gone up, and now not a bag of cement is available in the country. A bag, not a bag. And we are foreseeing that prices will go up again. And prices just went up last month. Something like 43, I don't want to get the wrong figure, but quite a significant sum. It's not a $5, not a $10. It's quite a sum. Went up for the price of cement. Because there's no competition, because they have given a monopoly to Jar Oil. And to create that monopoly, they have to take a loan that was meant for Gambians and monopolize that loan again to give it to Jar Oil a loan which was $50 million from Badia, for Jar Oil alone in order to create this monopoly. Are you surprised why they're creating all these monopolies? And who they created these monopolies for? And who suffers for these monopolies? Gambian people are the ones suffering. As I said, we are seeing the consequences of it in this Hajj that Ahmad Bah have monopolized with certain business people. And they get their kickbacks. Ahmad Bah will get his kickback, but NPP as a party gets his kickback. They monopolize for Jar Oil. Now the cement scarcity is here, prices are going up, Gambians are suffering. But guess who benefits? Barrow and the trade minister and those people that oversee this monopoly would have their kickbacks, but the NPP as a party will have their kickbacks. Now, yesterday you have seen this three-story building in the center of Serekunda bought and built by the NPP. You know NPP don't do fundraising. NPP members don't contribute. If they tell they contribute in their line, they get money from the sources, and all these patrons, the Jar Oil, the Ajib banks, the Mohammed Jas, and all these people, they're creating the monopolies for. And the Indians and other foreigners, they create the monopolies for. Senegalese business people and others strangle in the middle Gambian businesses and small Gambian businesses. All of them pay towards the NPP. That's why NPP can buy many vehicles as possible. But our health sectors and all the sectors will be lacking vehicles. Our services lack vehicles. They will be building brand new spanking head offices all over the place, saying that, oh, it's part of the democratization to make sure they have this, but they will never tell you where they get the money from. And this is why President Barrow wants a constitution that will allow them to collect money without any accountability, a political party that can be donated anonymously, to do as they fit. Now, the problem is coming from all quarters, and it's easy to identify who are the people benefiting from this. Now, the ball is in Gambian's court. If you believe that we have a tribalism problem, then you are believing, you are really being naive and allowing the politicians to put that in your head. Then you want to tell me that your cousins and your uncles, your aunties and everybody are tribalists, because we all belong to different tribes. If you believe there is a tribalism problem in our country, then you have to believe that all your family members are tribalists. Common sense. Because politicians will tell you, because they are the one playing the tribalist card. Because we go to the same market, we go to the same we wet each other, we go to the same ceremonies, we share everything else. But when it comes to our politics, they make you believe no, because of certain tribes and certain tribes are this. But to benefit, who benefits is them. Most of them political hacks have nothing absolute in their heads that survive from what is looted from our people, and the crumbs go down to some of the other people's loud mouths to insult and do everything. Is that a country we want to continue? The ball is our court. I think it's very clear now. Thank you very much, guys, and inshallah Sunday we're going to come on a Sunday radio with Alaji Salu, and we'll look at this extensively. We will talk to more pilgrims and their families, and we'll try and get more evidence out of it and to agitate it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
The commission submitted a report, but never submitted a report on the sale of the Jame asset. It's not there, and you cannot give what you don't have. In fact, let me tell you something, Peter. The recent the list that was released insofar as the sales are concerned is by Minister of Justice. They did not get them from the Jane Commission. They got them from those who did the sales. So the Jane Commission did not do a good job in providing a detailed report of the sale. They did not. They still haven't done that. And that is a fact. And the minister cannot, the government cannot give what we don't have. What the government has, which is in the records and which was given to the National Assembly.
So the Jane Commission failed the nation.
Of course, yes.
You know, ko straight to the point, ni na len di len niyu, di len santa di len girim. Ñëw rek gis naa ne the propaganda machine has been activated, and ñun suñ liggéey foofu la nekka mooy ne buñ gisee ñi nga xam ne spin doctors yi ak ñi nga xam ne ñooy the propaganda machine, because politics, Africa, especially Africa in general, we're talking about some of the media outlets yi nga xamante ne they hide behind, we speak for the people, we're here for the people. Yes, nobody's gonna deny it. Sometimes you might be here for the people, but other times they are also activated, put ñu nekk spin doctors, and also nekk a propaganda machine for those people who have them, ñi nga xam ne they have the money and they can afford them. This is what happened. It happens everywhere. So nit ñi dañu war a bàyyi xel si loolu te xam naa ne Gambians si, if you read some of these comments, you will know that people are not crazy. They know what is happening, because kenn mënta understand ne people are talking about Amie Bensouda. Some people will come out and start asking you, or they're not speaking because Amie Bensouda was not the only person koo xamante ne moo nekkoon si Jane Commission bi. Therefore, people are asking about Amie Bensouda. Here is the reason, because nit ñi ñu ngi single out Amie Bensouda. May wax ne Amie Bensouda, everybody ñun ñëpp moom lañ war a wax di ko wax, and we need to demand ne transparent investigation moom la ñoo demand from this government, and also ñi nga xamante ne government bi jox nañ leen the mandate to investigate what went on. So we need to put pressure on these people, because if we don't put pressure on these people, what will happen is we can see Amie Bensouda coming out threatening Nedafasu 144 million. I'm sorry, who has that kind of money in Gambia? Lolu limo defrek moy mu nge wone ne dafa tital nit ñi be bepp ko xamne lo wara mëna wax o lo buga wax nga bay ci sa xel lo la mo def. She know ne there is nothing to suye fi ken dara du si génna, but dafa threaten rek. Dafa threaten lol rek la mo def, because nobody accuse her of anything. Number one, comme li ma ko waxe, I will go on to explain the reasons why Amie Bensouda mom la ñoo gëna point out. I will start ñi wax lolu nonu dina leen delo question bi laaj leen ne leen during the TRRC we were all here. Who was the most talked about in the TRRC? Was it not Esafal? Who was Esafal? Esafal was the lead counsel. Ken Demuton, there was this guy, the handsome guy, Mr. Cisse, you know, Ken wahuton aferam. Nobody was talking about that guy. It was as if he was not even there. It was Esafal. We were all talking about Esafal this, Esafal that. Some of Masgi people were accusing Esafal of all kinds of things. Even when Esafal went on to donate the land, I was here. We were all here talking about Esafal. I'm just wondering, the very same people today who are out now telling you, oh, they're not talking about it. This is what they want to spin on us again to tell us why is Amie Bensouda the only person you single out for. I'm sorry. Amie Bensouda moy the lead counsel. Moy won the legal brain behind that Janneh Commission. Her responsibility was not just to sit there and bring documents and start questioning the likes of Sabali and all those people who came there. Bepa ñi nga xamantene sax ne citizen ñi nga xamantene Jammeh daf leen mayoon kër sax dañ leen ooyoon tek leen foofu noonu. Everybody was, attacking these people, saying all sorts. The people that was working in Yaya Jammeh's government, most of these people were brought in to the Janneh Commission, to the TRRC. Amie Bensouda, how come she was not brought in? Sister Mariama, how come Amie Bensouda was not brought in? Luta Amie Bensouda, isi winko won, mudem si whether Janneh Commission bila, or mudem si TRRC bi. I think that there was a place for her to go there and answer and explain to the people why her involvement in all those decrees that Jammeh was using just after he took government in 1994. Why was she not called in? Fafambay demona, Fafambay oyon nenko. The same way Fafambay was called, they should have called Amie Bensouda pour mu ñëw, because Fafambay lum don def ligéyam. Doomi réew mi la woon ñu joxoon ko liggéey muy liggéeyal Yaya Jammeh comme ñépp nit nekkee doomi réew Yaya Jammeh joxoon leen liggéey ñu liggéey. The same thing Amie Bensouda did, but Amie Bensouda was not called in the TRRC no si Janneh Commission bi. Lan moo waral loolu Gambia? Was it because she in 2017 Amie Bensouda dafa was so powerful, power bi moo wone nii, doole bi moo wone nii ne moom la am ne man suma tur kenn du ko tudda si dara ku tudda suma tur si dara dama rek sa ndiga. Is that the reason why Amie Bensouda was not called in the Janneh Commission? Was that the very reason why she wasn't called during the TRRC? I'm just asking here. Because most Gambians, ñi nga xamantene liggéeyol lañ non Yaya Jammeh, ñeneen ñi seen liggéey lañ doon def, and they were not involved in some of these things. We all know that everybody was not involved in the killings, in the everything. Ni na la sama doomi ne doomi bay jallow. Say no, say natu. Lila lena like Gambia. So it's only now we're calling Amie Bensouda. Amie Bensouda worked for Yaya Jammeh because after the coup in 1994, Amie Bensouda was appointed acting AG and Minister of Justice in Yaya Jammeh's government. She was the one, according to what I'm looking here. So len demee si internet bi, yen ñep get them, forget them, get type ko for Amie Bensouda fofu len jëlé information bi. She was the one who negotiated Paris Club debt relief bi. Amie Bensouda mom la. Amie Bensouda was the chief parliamentary council legal draftman of draft person for Yaya Jammeh. Momo nekon the council for Yaya Jammeh, state-owned enterprise, and all these ñu ngi wax ne parastatal si Amie Bensouda was giving them legal advice. Gambia, ko xamantene yow ya nekkoon di acting ni na la awa mangla ni ko xamantene yow ya nekkoon di acting attorney general of Yaya Jammeh, Minister of Justice Yaya Jammeh, nga negotiate some of these debts yi nga xamantene deka bi ñu ko ameloon whatever it is moom mu negotiate ko luta oyin ko ñoom Ibu Jallow oyon nañ leen ñuy ñëw ñuy wax ne si this whether it's a grant or loan that was given to Thailand, or was it Thailand, somebody can correct me, or whatever country, they call them Ibu Jallow because they were involved in those monies that they were given to the country. Allegedly. They call them. So Amie Bensouda, she was involved in negotiating debts relief in Gambia. But pare mu nekkoon legal counsel of Yaya Jammeh. Lan la advice decrease yi nga xamantene mom la Yaya Jammeh don't use amount power, amount dole. Can more draft? Amie Bensouda la. Gambia, come on now. Let's be real here. If you, as a legal mind, got draft decrease your xamantene the president of the country was using it. Of course, if we can draft law, and this was exactly the laws of the land, Yaya Jammeh was using it. Who was responsible for advising Yaya Jammeh for drafting these decrees? Amie Bensouda. Because mom lañ def. So they may see Wikipedia mo fa nekka. So ñu ngi wax ne lan mo waralon Amie Bensouda oyin ko won during the TRRC pour mu explain bopam comme niñ oye won Fafa Bay and many other people Gambia. Li yep Amie Bensouda, because the government of the day in 2017 to date ñoom ñoo nekkoon ñoo xamantene moom dafa àndaan ñoom loolu moo fa nekka, because it was UDP government, and those people who are saying that people hate UDP, that is why you can say that we've been hearing that from 2017 to date ñu loolu wàññi wuñu dara, because you don't have an argument. That is why you're saying that, and we're putting facts before you. And when you want to say that they hate UDP, it's not about hate, it is about facts. Moine, Amie Bensouda was not called, the likes of Amie Bensouda was not called in the TRRC simply because she was a UDP, one of the most influential UDP supporters, members or supporters, either way. That was the very reason why she was not called at the TRRC, to explain herself. I also believe because of the very reason she was not called, that moy degabi. Lolu moy degabi. Waro nañ ko aussi both commissions pour mu explain bopam. We didn't hear that. Simply because she was part of the establishment. Lolu moko waral. UDP can do muna hold Adama Barrow accountable when it comes to this Janet Commission without involving UDP. Because the very UDP was in government during the time of this investigation, whether it's Janet Commission, whether it's TRRC, whether any commission, Bohamentana Teknenko, during the transition, UDP was in government. They were part and parcel of that government. So therefore, this is the reason why we cannot talk about Adama Barrow without mentioning UDP. Because we've all heard Batambedu came during his interviews in Dondef, Mune. They went in a cabinet meeting. It was a cabinet decision. Lola Batambedu, who was in that government, who was in the executive during this time. Batambedu was the Minister of Justice. Who was in cabinet? It was the UDP government. It was Usainu Dabo was there. Amadou Sade was there. Hassan Jallow was there, and the Minister of Land, whatever his name was, it was a UDP government. Adama Barrow was UDP, although mom, resigned now because after being elected. But Adama Barrow, we all knew that Adama Barrow was UDP. It was a UDP government, although it was a coalition government. But we know the likes of Halifa Sallah, all of these people were not in. PDOIS was not in. The Ahmad Bahs that we are even accusing Ahmad Bah left, right, and center is Ahmad Bah and UDP. Majority of the people in that government that time was UDP. So therefore, we cannot talk about Adama Barrow alone. Although, yes, I understand the box stuff at his door because Momo Neka, the head of the government, but we cannot exonerate UDP. This is the reason why we said UDP. And the very reason why we're talking about Amie Bensouda Wahnako. Amie Bensouda, privileges him and conflict of interest binga xamantene more lolu mo warona ta Amie Bensouda warona tok ci bopam waxon ne biñ ko oyé pour mu nek lead counsel for the Janet Commission dafa warona wonne no, I'm not going to take that position. But because of greed, because one nañ ne fi ñi am xaliss duñuy doyal, because of greed, Amie Bensouda did not want to let go of that 500. Gambia, our 100,000 mom like spent CTRRCB, and we've all heard Ismail Assise came out yesterday, and he said the Janet Commission did not do a job billion center at billion fay pour ñu def ko moy ne dañ leen don't face salary. We have every right pour ne leen sant nañ leen liggéey dem ngeen liggéey ñun ñëpp xam nañ ne suñ demee liggéey suñ liggéey kaay suñu joxe dara ñu def ko dañoo ooyaat nañu like new questions. How come this? How come that? They didn't do Linland Santas, their job was not complete because they are alleging that there are some documents missing. How can anybody write a report and then you have appendix? What core includes in any report is missing. It is not on the site, on the website. The Minister of Information came out yesterday, Mune, it was an incomplete document report lañ leen jox nañ leen report boo xam ne amut the list of the names for those people who bought the cows, the cars, and a lot of things. It was missing. How can the government of the day then accepted a report with missing documentation? Limola Wanela, these people were not interested in anything. They were only interested in making sure, unless they have hand in those missing documents sent to Rumfaneka, or they were one of those people who bought these things, or they were the one that distributed these things among themselves. So they did not care whether the list, their names, is part of the list or not. Why? Because if their name is part of the list, Nini dinañ leen jàppa. Nene nuyu naa la nene naka nga def nene naka xale yi alhamdulillah. Dama laajte loolu, is that the reason why the list came out about 5, 6, 7 years later? Why? Because the people came out and demand for the list. Alpha Capital ñu ne ñoo joxe list bi. Now it comes back to what people are saying, that this list might be fake. Because the same Alpha Capital people are alleging that Bata and Bedi Jabaram dafa am hand in that. So are we saying that this list is been documented, is been doctored, because this nañ ne gaay ñu ngi jóg de laajte list ñu dawa gaawalantu dem joxe list? How come this list was not out then? How come? Lii moo waral ñuy laaj Amie Bensouda. Because Amie Bensouda, as the legal counsel for the Janneh Commission, moom si boppa moo waroon a advice liggéeyam mooy anything loo xam ne got to do with legal issues, legal matters, loo xamante ne it will come back on the Janneh Commission ak seen liggéey. Moom liggéeyam la pour mu advice leen ne leen we should follow due process, we should follow li ñu loi bi may ba pare se ñu ngi wax ne it is illegal for Janneh Commission to get involved in selling of anything. What was Amie Bensouda? Where was she if what people are alleging the Janneh Commission was involved in selling these Janneh properties? Where was Amie Bensouda? When was this happening? Why was she involved? According to people, we're saying that she bought this, she bought that, she got this, as her mandate, Binko Johon, si TRC, si Janneh Commission bi, as legal lead counsel, lan mooy woon liggéeyam. Luta advice leen, luta make it sure ne these people follow li nga xamante ne moom lañ leen jox mandate. Loolu mooy woon liggéeyam. Surahata Janneh mu ngi fa woon as the chair, but he was not there as the legal lead counsel. He was there as whatever. We are saying ne ñépp lañ wax de. Waaye man dama gëna jox Amie Bensouda toor bi si koom laa ko gëna teg. As somebody koo xamante ne moom lañ feyoon pour muy advise legally these people what is wrong, what is legal, what is illegal. Loolu moom mooy liggéeyam foofu noonu. Lan la si def? Dafa ne teg continue. When Essa Faal was accused of all these things, li ko waraloon mooy lan? Moom moo fa nekkoon, moo nekkoon di lead counsel moom tamit. Kisuma guy UDP at any point came out to say, oh, why were we pointing Essa Faal alone? Oh, why were we saying Essa Faal alone? They did not say that. What they did was, it was okay for them at the time being Kodonwa. Essa Faal amut lan lañ ko fi defut. Waxuñ ko fi. Man Essa Faal ma gënoon critical of Essa Faal. In fact, I was even calling him, Allah ko don call it, the golden something. I don't remember what that was. Benga xamantene ñu bari ñoo xamantene suma xarit lañu won ci through this time they were upset. Li moy Gambia. Why the thing is, I was not doing it because dama JP Essa Faal or dara, because dañ ko joxon liggéey time bobu muy ko def ñi ko fay. Mo taxone may ko don def lolu passé na amat lolu dem na bor. Légui lima gis lay wa kum neex ak kum neexut lolu sa affaire la. Gisuma dara lo xamne mu ko def lo xamantene man lu jaaduwut la ak lu jaaduwut su ko def dinaa ko wax but in the meantime li ko constitution li ko Gambian la am na right pour taxaw loolu lay gis su defee lu wata def ma def ko waaye at a time bi nga ko doon fay loolu laa doon wax waaye léegi damaa laajte time boobu bi nit ñi doon wax ne Essa Faal lii la def Essa Faal dafa use this platform pour yes he was using that, that's why he came. Everybody is doing it the same thing. UDP ñu ngi leen a wax ne leen moo tax ñuy wax ne Amie Bensouda as well. She was doing the same thing. She used that platform to gëna ñëw gëna am doole, use the same platform. Mom tamit mom la def li Essa Faal def li ngeen accuse Mama di Kurang mom la Amie Bensouda def. Many people in Gambia will do it. Ni nara Ibrahima naka nga def? Thank you. Thanks. That is exactly what Amie Bensouda did. Amie Bensouda as well used her influence. Like I said the day before, she used her influence and the powers that li nga xamantene mom la am mu use ko mom tamit mom munta taxaw de Gambian te dama nek president de o dama nek KMC de xaaral ma jël suma doom ma tek ko fa. And when she put the son there, it's as good as Amie Bensouda ba mo nek di KMC. No shade to Talib, but we know how it is in Gambia. We know how it is when it comes to politics, because Talib Bensouda as the person bi mo dem ñu jox ko wax naa leen ko UDP ngeen bàyyi seen xel dama ñëwaat di leen ko waxaat because gis naa gars yi ñu ngi manipulate ñu ngi ñëw propaganda machine bi ñu ngi ko teg ñu ngi wax ne wow people hate UDP, and also they are mentioning Amie Bensouda's name because we want to use this to campaign against Talib pour yaaxal Talib. No Talib kenn yaaxalu ko. Talib ki ko yaaxal mooy yaayam. Talib sa yaay moo la yaaxal du kenn. Day before I came, Talib is one of those young people. Yes, perhaps when he came, we all did not support him. Still, I don't support him. But lima gislay wa gisnane, he's been doing, he's been doing a brilliant job, and I've been following him, and I'm seeing that okay, he is one person. I said it. Mandumade wa de delu wat susmawa. Wanako Mane Talib is one of those people that I can see that there is I'm not up a chance but Sinko Johe UDP Mulitko, he might bring people together. Wanako, I meant that when I say it. But at the end of the day, politics that they evolve, a lot of things can happen, things can change. And right now what I'm seeing is things can change. That wouldn't matter anymore because say yeah, it's fake and if I involve Amie Bensouda in this. Of course, it will affect you because the reason why, because it was your very mother who brought you to UDP, tahawal lafa, influence bim dole bim mota Talib munona neka KMC mayor in the first place. So that very power, very influence your mother has, she will have it on you. So fake elect legacy biranga president. Of course, we all know that is happening. That will happen. And you get one fake and say that power, that influence. And also she is, according to what people alleging the momla, mo am influence, pull gel talk, pasare resources in we do not want Talib Purmuneka president, and we will campaign against that. Of course we will do. We will do that because UDP, mafatali len. Amie Bensouda su fekkee ne dafa bokk ci yéen sax Talib lay laajte lan liggéey in UDP as a young person mu gën leen koo liggéey yéen waa UDP. Let me just give you example. We see Yankuba Dabo mu ngi nekk Birkama. Nobody can deny Yankuba Dabo's involvement in this struggle. Hey Yankuba Dabo si struggle bi mu ngi si fii la nekkoon. Nobody's gonna deny it. Are we? I'm not gonna deny it. I know it. We've seen him. We know him. He was involved. In fact, after sa government, bi joxuñ ko place ci government, why dafa dem bàyyi London, Angleterre, mu dem ñibbi Gambia, nekk fa, ba bañ ko elect. Li moo xew, li mooy dëgga. I don't see eye to eye with him most times, but li mooy dëgga. In xeex bi mu xeex ci UDP, fi mu nekk yelloo na ko, war nañ ko ko jox because man li ma wax ne soo àndee nit ngeen ay xeex ba pare nga am the qualification nga am nga mun ko mun nañ laa jox liggéey. I don't see anything wrong with that, and I believe ne Yankuba Dabo jàngana am na xam-xam bi teg nañ ko fi mu nekk mu ngay liggéey. We're seeing it, so I don't see. But if we want to compare these two, Yankuba Dabo ak kii rek Talib Bensouda, nañ use ñaan ñi example. Ñaan ñi kana gën a xeex in UDP, kana gën a liggéeyal UDP. it is Yankuba Dabo, of course. There are many people ñoo xamantene ñoo gëna yaga Talib UDP, ñoo gëna xex Talib, ñoo ko gëna def lu nekk way ñoo gënut leena janga wax na ko demba, but they gave Talib this position because of the influence yaayam bim am. So ñu leena won influence bi yaayam am ba nga xamantene elega sibir so Talib nekk president yaayam will have the same influence. So we do not want that. And especially li ñoo alek yeb ne mom daf ci am involvement. If this is how this woman is, so we need to be very careful who we give our presidency next. Whether they go wara jox, now they go waruta jox. Li la ñoo laacc ngeen bàyyi seen xel. Because UDP yeen bi nekk UDP di wër di taxaw di xeexal Amie Bensouda di wax naan oh biñ ko laacc dama leen a laaj yeen ñooñu UDP yeen some of you seen papa yi ñoom ñoo daabo ñoo doon xeex seen papa yi ñoo daabo ñoo doon xeex depuis tout bi fa Yaya Jammeh nekkee depuis 1994 seen yaay yi ñoom Nogoy Njaay anañ deyuñ ñoom Nogoy Njaay dama leen a laaj na ñooñu Talib Bensouda daf leen gën a yelloo pour mu ñëw rek from nowhere. Talib was in Canada studying during the struggle. Kan moo ko dégga si struggle? Kan moo ko dégga mu am involvement in anything? No, he was not. Yaayam moo nekkoon Gambia nekka di liggéeyal Yaya Jammeh di receive salary di toppatoo soxlaam di establish her boppa di try to create whatever pour mom to become the powerful woman she is. But while she was doing that, she was using those monies because Gambia government di ko fay muy fayal doomam muy Talib Bensouda mu dem jangi ba pare mu jangi mu ñëw mu teg ko ci seen kaw yéen mi nga xam ne yéen lañ doon rey yéen lañ doon noot yéen lañ doon dugal prison yéen lañ doon def li moo nekk ci politician bi xam nga keroog dama ko mos waaye dama bëgg a ñëw rek tey ma gën leen koo leeralal because it wasn't about that but because I saw people are trying to spin this now to say that it's about Amie Bensouda. Talib Bensouda mother paid for Talib pour mu dem jangi Canada yéen seen papa yi doon ànda Ousainou Darboe yéen a ngi toogoon Gambia. Sometimes you don't have añ doo leen am rekk doo leen am leer ñu ngi leen a bocco di leen def lu nekk. While Talib was in Canada or wherever studying, you were in Gambia yéen a seen yaay yi yéen a ngi soona ak seen papa yi ñu ngi leen a dugal prison di leen génnee ñii ñu ngi leen a tocco ñii ñu ngi leen a def lu nekk. Talib was studying yaayam ne hey let me send my kids pour mu ñu dem jàngi because man suma doom yi ñoom ñoo yelloo ëllëg pour ñëw liit leen yéen mi toog fii ci struggle bi di xeex. This is what politician lii leen dee def ñu am xaalis yéen ngeen nekk fa seen papa yee seen yaay yi su Ousainou Darboe ootee ñu dem court ngeen génna Solo Sandeng ana doomam where is Solo Sandeng yal na ko yàlla yërëm te xaree ko àjjana ana doomam yi liñ soona yépp nekk nañ parliament jox nañ leen liggéey luñ leen defar the last time I checked Solo Sandeng kids was ñu doon teg nit ñi dañ doon def GoFundMe pour ñu jàppale leen. And Solo Sandeng sacrificed his life for Yaya Jammeh pour mu génna because loolu moo trigger Yaya Jammeh nit ñi ñëpp génna. What happened to Solo Sandeng kids and Solo Sandeng family? Nogoy Njaay lan moo ko dal? Nogoy Njaay dafa feebar ñun ñëpp gisoon nañ ko bu génna di wax ne dimbale wuñ ko jàppale wuñ ko te ñooñu ñoom lañ réew ñoom lañ jàpp ñoom lañ def ana ñooñu dañ leen jox place na dañ leen jox liggéey na dañ leen jox dara joxuñ leen dara dañ leen fa faate but ki nga xamante ne moom la yaayam am doole moom la yaayam am influence moom la yaayam am xaalis nga xam ne moom la yaayam senoon mu dem jàngi moom bokkul struggle moom xeexut moom ngi toogoon fii in his comfort zone moom la yaayam ñëw ne you know what kii moo leen gën a jànga dama ko teg si seen kaw pour mu lii leen mooy kan mooy Talib Bensouda lii laa leen a wax UDP ñun li ñoo wax Gambia moo ñu tax ñuy ko wax ñun waxuñ ko pour place waxuñ ko pour bañ leen dañ leen a wax ne yéen ngeen seetaat seen boppa yéen xale yi nekk UDP yéen mag yi nekk UDP toog di defend di wax naa lii ak lii ak lii dañ leen a wax ne leen ñun li ñoo wax ay facts la. And the same Amie Bensouda not only won his son pour mu nekk mayor of Banjul, she also won Talib Bensouda to become the president of the Gambia. Why? Lan moo ko waral and soo leen bàyyiwutee xel soo leen taxawutee moom moo ko nekk moom la ñoo jël because of her influence pour ñu teg Talib pour mu taxaw. No, we're not trying to discredit Talib. We are trying to speak facts. This is the reality of what is happening in Gambia and in Africa. Politicians will use the poor people, the poor farmers like myself, poor people, I'm not farmers, but poor people like myself and you, to support them, to fight for them, to sacrifice your lives. But when it comes to giving out positions and giving out opportunities, they will give it to their family members, their children, and you will be left out. And they only want to use you, put nan len, gena len gen saga ede jallow, gena len gen fight. But at the end of the day, what do you benefit? Nothing. Limoy Ali Kalekbi. So we're not trying to discredit Talib. We're not trying to stop Talib from being the president. We are only here to speak the facts. Them yena isilolo. Yen miko binda. The media that they're trying to use putting spin doctors for these people. Lila Lena Wande, this is the reality and you cannot deny it. Talib Bensouda was not part of no struggle. Amie Bensouda worked for Yaya Jammeh. So if we're trying to brush like the likes of Sabali and all of these people accept Juba Umar Sabali, yen nyep ham gen ko. But the same brush that we are being brush Sabali, nenko brush Amie Bensouda, nenko brush everybody that worked for Jammeh then. Ligay na fa de. Lan la gene ni fa do ligay ben na to the left, right and center only because she is UDP. Because she is a UDP supporter. And the same Sabali, when he came put mu join len lolen def da ngeen ko raga bem set tek ko Ousainou Darboe def ko mu nek commando muy ñew fu mo dem mu nek right handam. UDP, this is not right. Li nekut lo xamantene nit ñi dofu ñu leena gis Gambian si ñu leena gis ku bokk si yeen genn mo set wich su ebo won sax ñu jappon ko muy rey paka té paka de reyal Yaya Jammeh o mu té paka de rey nit yeen di ngeen ko raga bem set wich lutax lolu lutax ngeen de jital sen interest before Gambia. Why do you always jital sen interest before Gambia UDP? Lutax suñ tege Gambia ni tek interest ngeen jital yeen lutax lolu li mo fi neka Talib Bensouda gënu fi kenn li fi tane nit ñi ak lim nga xamne mom la am nit ñi amuko moy di opportunities yi nga xamantene yaayam moko create pour mom ak pour njabotam li rek lool la way du dara te nak dañoo laajte nak is that fair Gambia? Inequality bi nekk biir Gambia di nekk si political parties sax ngeen gis ko yeen UDP si seen boppa yéen a ko war a xeex yéen a war a bañ ne we're not nepotism bi xew si suñ political party bi buñ ko nagu. Amie Bensouda waruta ñëw liggéeyal Yaya Jammeh bam ko neex dem toppatoo boppam mu ngi woon si fii si biir during 22 years bi di struggle di liggantil boppam moom naka laa gën a elevator boppam naka laa gën a accumulate wealth nekka fii ba pare yooni doomam yi ñu dem jàngi ñun suñ pharmacie ñun suñ papa yi ñoo fi nekkoon. How many of you ñu àndoon na Ousainou Darboe di xeex àndoon na UDP di xeex 22 years yéen ñëpp a ngi doon dee ñu bari dañ dee seen papa yi dee nañ. Lu ko waral lan moo waral seen papa yi dee fajuñ leen biñ leen war a faj. You see Amadou Sané naka la feebaree woon ba nii la doon def bañ ko yónnee télé mu bugg a dee waaye Amadou Sané mu ngi nii dunda yal na dunda ba dundaam yokkeeku sax ma ñaanal ko. Waaye dama leen a laaj ne Amadou did not die after 2020 ba Yaya Jammeh demee xam nga li ko waral because he was the Minister of Finance. He got the best treatment. Ousainou Darboe didn't die moom it yal na ko yàlla dunda doom ñoom ñëpp ñu am 100. Why? Because they received the best treatment. They went to Turkey, dem nañ fu nekk because ñoom ñooy woon the people ñu doon control xaalis Gambia bi. Dem nañ they received the best treatment ever. Waaye kii nu mu tuddaati Femi Peters dafa dee. Lan la tax Femi Peters dee? Because Femi Peters dañ ko yóbbu ñu sànni ko. Sierra Leone te ba lañ ko yóbbu sax naka la demee Sierra Leone ak Gambia lu ñu tanee ñun fa lañ ko yóbbu ñu sànni ko. He did not receive the best treatment Ousainou Darboe received and Amadou Sané. Femi Peters ana doomam yi ak Femi Peters lim sona yépp ak ñeneen dama leen a lisal just very few people mënuma lis ñépp ak am nañ paa yoo xamante ne UDP lañ bokkoon dañ dee su fekkee ne jànguñ sax ñooñu suñ jànguñ sax am na loo xamante ne yeloon nañ ko waroon nañ leen ko jàppale mënoon nañ ko pour jàppale leen ko pour ñu dunda seen papa yi yéen yéen mi nga xam ne yéen ay doomi farmers yéen mi nga xam ne yéen a dëkk si ob bi yéen mi nga xam ne yéen a dëkk amuleen doole amuleen influence amuleen ku leen waxal am na ñoo xam ne today as I'm speaking sa mun naa am sa they've never even had the opportunity pour toog ak Ousainou Darboe ak Adama Barrow te yéen a doon toog a moom suy dem di xeexi yéen a daan àndaa moom why is that UDP yéen maa ngi waxu maa ñi nga xam ne ñoo nekk di topp am members of UDP nga xam ne ñoom ñooy enjoy de nga xam ne ñoom ëllëg si biir UDP suñ toogee dañoo ñëwaat ñu jox leen place dañuy enjoy de wuma ñooñu de maa ngi wax yéen mi nga xam ne yéen a mën a em ñun nga xam ne suñ kilifa yi baadoola lañ amuñ dara yéen lay wax yéen mi nga xam ne seen school fees sax sometimes when you need school fees da ngeen amee pour jógee ba si kaw ga di ñëw ba si Ousainou Darboe këram sometimes pour laajte pour ñu fayal leen school fees te amu leen ko lu tax loolu how come UDP bi ñëwee government toppatoo wuñ leen how come they went and tànn ñoom taalib ñii ñu isi leen in how come laaj leen loolu seen boppa because amu leen doole amu leen influence seen yaay amul doole seen papa amul doole looloo tax te loolu moo fa nekk they are only using you pour fight yi si social media bi ak toppa leen di daw di suba ngoon tuddee bëccëg loolu rek lañ leen soxlee su fekkee ne dugga nañ government they forget you they leave you alone Gambia so moo tax ñun dañoo laajte ak fair Gambia we are asking a Gambia boo xamante ne nepotism dafa jeex it's not who you know ñun loolu la ñoo xeex ñun yéen la ñoo xeexal ñun yéen mi nga xam ne yéen UDP yéen ak fa nekka seen papa yi amuñ doole seen yaay yi amuñ doole ba pare am ngeen right pour bokka UDP su leen neexee bokka leen UDP waaye ñun dañoo wax ne ñun li Ousainou Darboe doomam yelloo in UDP ba nga xamante ne in Gambia ba nga xamante ne dañ ko jox laan applyal ko laan yéen ñun la ñoo xeex ne yéen da ngeen yelloo loolu ñun ñu ngi wax ne taalib ni mu dem jàngi jee Canada yaayam fayal ko ak ñeneen a ñeneen ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi fa seen papa yi di leen fayal ñuy dem di jàngi because they are in government ñu leen a jox scholarship ñu ngi wax ne yéen yelloo ngeen ko yéen mi nekk UDP te seen papa yi amuñ xaalis and some of you are brilliant some of you are very smart some of you are very smart you can do it only if you're given the opportunity to do it but they don't want to give you the opportunity because suñ leen joxee opportunity you will come and challenge them. If they give you the opportunity to go and educate yourself, you will come and challenge them. And they don't want you to challenge them. They prefer for you to remain ignorant so that you will follow them. Luñ wax ngeen gom ko suñ ñëwee bina seen big English ngeen gom ko suñ ñëwee di làkka seen big English ngeen ko gom waaye su fekkee ne jox nañ leen opportunity yéen jox leen scholarship defar school si mu baax make sure that we have education system boo xam ne baax na ba yéen di ngeen jàng di ngeen xam suñ ñëwee laakal leen seen laaka yi ñoo laaka bindal leen seen big grammar yi dugal si wàlle propaganda di ngeen xam ne hey this is a propaganda we're not going to accept it but they don't want you to be educated they don't want you pour ngeen eewu they want you to remain ignorant nag su ma ko waxee nekkut ne damaa wax ne da ngeen dof somebody can be educated mu dem school mu jànga but they can still be ignorant waxuma ne dama leen a saaga ne da ngeen ignorant dama leen a wax ne leen dañ leen bëggal lëndëmal mooy ne lëndëm pour am na yoo xam ne dañ ko dee dugal si yenn yi doo leen ko dee mun a understand because Ousainou Darboe came out and give a statement this one give a statement ku nekkaa ngee point fingers at each other that does not exonerate them because they were in government they were all responsible. So yéen mi nga xamante ne yéen a mën a em ñun ay baadoola la ñun suñ yaay yi amul doole yéen lay waxal UDP yéen mi fa nekka dama leen a laaj some of you I see you are very smart yéen a ngi nekka di xeexal UDP bi ngeen nekkee xalal ba léegi lan ngeen si am su UDP ñëwee what do you get? You don't get nothing. You and me both. You and my family members who are UDP are the same. You don't get nothing. It's only the 1% or even 1% the CUDP ñoom rek ñooy enjoy suñu nekkee government ndax loolu is it fair? They lie to you that when they come in government, oh, I'm in politics because I want to help you. No, they're not in politics because they want to help you. Because if they are in politics because they want to help you, do you know what they would have done? They wouldn't have given Amie Bensouda a job in the Ghana Commission because there are other lawyers they've never worked for Yaya Jammeh. They've never worked for Yaya Jammeh. Yaya Jammeh property si ñoo wax nii ne moom la jëloon ak hotel si ñoo wax kan mooy woon the lawyers of the parastatals? Amie Bensouda. Amie Bensouda was the one film talk si Janneh commission bi turam kayit yoo xam ne turam mang fa waroon naa waxoon boppam ne conflict of interest require me to step aside, not to investigate or to be involved in anything that has to do with Yaya Jammeh. Lolu mo fa nekka. Everybody UDP di ñëw tey di wax ne Adama Barrow no Gambia Adama Barrow ak UDP yépp la ñoo laaj because UDP was in the government. It's not just Adama Barrow. We cannot just accept ne it's Adama Barrow alone. Bulen ko nangu tay, bulen ko nangu elek. It is not Adama Barrow alone. Batambe di sila boka. Every minister that was involved in Adama Barrow, and they were there and they knew what was happening. They didn't say anything. That includes Usainu Dabo, Amadou Sane, all of them. We need investigation for Hamentene Dinalen exonerate. But for right now, as I'm speaking now, they were all part and parcel of that government. We will hold all of them accountable. Minister of Finance, Moy Amadou Sane, we will hold them accountable. And Amie Bensouda. And let me tell you one thing, Gambia. Dafa am lo xamne fi mo fi nekka. Te fi ñun kenn duñu nax, kenn duñu selmal, ñun selmawuñu, ñun ñoo leen gëna muus. Ñun doo leen ñu nax. Duñ ko nangu. Amie Bensouda, ma ñëwaat ci moom. Yaya Jammeh su fekkee ne ñu waxoon ne according to what people were saying, oh Yaya Jammeh dafa jël hotel bi. Hotel bi ñoo wax ne Yaya Jammeh daf ko siisoon ak yu bari ñoo wax ne mu siis ko moom mu nekk looyaam. Dama leen a laaj. Wax naa ko dama ko waxaat. Yow looya nga nekk biir Gambia mu óor la ne hotel bi nga ne Yaya Jammeh moomu ko. Yaya Jammeh warut koo mun a nangu. Loolu lañ wax. Lu tax yow ngay war a nekk looyaam di make sure ne moom ngi jël loolu. Lan moo ko waral? Lu tax Amie Bensouda def loolu? Lu tax muy nekk lawyer fii am na ñoo xam ne lawyer yoo xam ne yenn kees yi dañoo wax ne ñun duñ ko jël suñ morals nanguwut ko loolu yëpp def na ko fa ngeen gis ko degree yi Yaya Jammeh first degree yi doon liggéeyee ñuy nangu property si ñu nekkoon nguuri Jawara ñuy jàppa nit ñi di def nit ñi kan moo ko def oh she was doing her job. I know UDP will come back will tell you that she was doing her job. There were people in Gambia, they refused to work for Yaya Jammeh. ñooñu kenn celebrate leen kenn waxut ne ñii ñoo jàmbaar ñu ne Amie Bensouda la ñoo wax ne mooy jàmbaar ñu bëgg ñun ñu foog na ñun dañ sel moo égal kaw. History bi na ko ba pare Amie Bensouda du fi mun a nekk benn jàmbaar yi kenn. Amie Bensouda poosam la day seet moom loo xamante ne liggéey buñ ko tegal si table bi boo xamante ne on na ko ne lii xaalis la see jëlee loolu laa def du si seet dara. Man maa ko wax na may suu because su fekkee ne yow danga oote ne yow danga am integrity nga ne loolu nga oote Yaya Jammeh nga ne su kuyee a lot of people dañ wax ne we are not gonna work for a government that dafa coup d'état. Some people Halifa Sallah ak ñeneen ñi loolu la ñoo wax. Halifa Sallah was called Yaya Jammeh oo na ko pour mu dem liggéey moom dafa bañ liggéey nanguwut ko. A lot of people in Gambia nanguwuñ woon pour liggéeyal Yaya lan moo waraloon Amie Bensouda dem liggéeyal Yaya Jammeh. How many lawyers were there? Gis ngeen nataal bi gis ngeen ko dem leen si Wikipedia bi ngeen gis ko lan moo ko waral kon nag taalib sa yaay la ñoo wax ne mu dellu gannaaw te sa yaay su fekkee ne delluwut gannaaw si traité ni moo traité nii naan nit ñi dafa bëgg ñu ñoo apologize fii kenn du fi apologize kenn ku boot bukki Hajj boobu la suñ 100 million lañ jël fay leen salary ñuy wax naan yeah she was working for, but now she's not working. I'm afraid we're talking about it now. This is not something new. We're talking about the same Janneh Commission when she was paid. If people pay you, you're answerable to them. And she was given the job as the lead counsel. She should have known better, put advice then. And if she didn't do that, then we are calling on her name. And the same very reason why SFL was the main focus for the TRRC, Amie Bensouda was the main focus. The cameras was set on her. The focus was on her. She was the one that was questioning people. She was the one that was asking the question. Therefore, she's the one we are. And by the way, nobody's going to tell us who we're going to ask or not. The same way again, target Ahmad Bah. Why are you targeting Ahmad Bah? Why are you targeting Ahmad Bah? When they talk about the ministry, the ministers that was there, why is Ahmad Bah named the only one you are targeting? Like what? Do you have a personal beef with Ahmad Bah as well? I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Ahmad Bah man anduma mom duma ko mus defar le yena ko gina xam. But I'm seeing ne yena ge target Ahmad Bah everything Ahmad Bah. Ahmad Bah left, Ahmad Bah right. Yes, Ahmad Bah gina na war ngeen wax affaire am. Why then you use the same logic bi ngeen use, right? The question people that are talking about Amie Bensouda alone. We are using the same reasoning being energy yen tamit. Nelly, this is the reason why you're not talking about it. Ahmad Bah mingen target nak diko wa. The same Ahmad Bah mom kena. Nekuton minister si time ya binyo wax ne ni bata medu dafa wax ne the ministers ñom ñoo togon diko discuss. How many ministers were there? To me, whether one minister, two minister, is the whole cabinet. Because man, luñ wax rek ne dañ ko discuss on executive level, man ñep la fa hold accountable, not just one minister. Ñi fa nekk ñep at a time, man ñom lay hold accountable. So mangel like biñ waxe ne the ministers, the Batambedu came out and talk about it was a discussion bo xamne they had it on ministerial level. So mangel like luta they selected Ahmad Bah out of those ministers. Gambia, actually ni like what diga. Why was Ahmad Bah the only person that was selected out of those ministers? Or because Nine Amadou Sade wahna ne oh mom defuton dara patati patata Ousainou Darboe tamit wahna. So you accept that ne Ousainou Darboe Amadou Sane and some of these people came out and denied that they were involved. So to you that's okay, but Ahmad Bah came on radio and denied he didn't sell the cow, so it's not okay. You still carry on calling Ahmad Bah name. Magi Jamu, naka nga def anti hadi no manala. Why dina la call? Gis na sa message bi nga yone sanka. Dama lache, lang yan use and logic. So why are you singling out Ahmad Bah alone? It seems as though yena ge single out those people who are not UDP. Lol gena def yen momu diko wa. The media houses there are talking about this. That we're telling you yen si sen bopa, we see your bias reporting all the time. We don't talk about it. We see it, we know it, but Gambians as well. People are saying it. You're biased in your reporting. You are biased when it comes to UDP. You just don't go. Especially when it comes to Talib. We know, we see it. We're not crazy. People are not stupid. But you don't come here and try to spin anything here, because every time you do that, we will come out and say the facts. This is Degabi. Ahmad Bah mom kena nekufa. So why are you attacking Ahmad Bah, talking about Ahmad Bah this, Ahmad Bah did, because saga diko attack? Why? Ngene duñu ñun tamit duñu wax Amie Bensouda. We will wax Amie Bensouda samba di sa demba, because mo fa nekkoon lim fa def dinañ ko wax, te dinañ ko wax tay dinañ ko wax ëllëg. And for Ismaila Ceesay came out to say the report was incomplete. How come when the report was incomplete, we just leave it like that? How come they didn't do anything about it? How come Adama Barrow didn't do anything about it? Just take the report, and whoever was responsible, how come they just took the report and throw it under the dessin? You just like put it in the drawer and lock it. Hey, Dabo, no manala. Why? The man like Luta Lolu Mahau. Luta, when he was, the report was handed in, Luta, there are something missing. Yes, they wrote it, so they made it's been circulating since then like they asked them do so many things, they refused to get it. Luta Lolo definitely that because this government, they didn't care. 2017 back 2021 UDP was only focusing on how to elect Ousainou Darboe pour push Adama Barrow pour mu talk. And when they were whining and dining with Adama Barrow, they do not care about anything. Moses was Adama Barrow. Ousainou Darboe was Adama Barrow's godfather. Therefore, whatever Darboe, Ousainou, mom me, the Adama Barrow def, kontaan non nañ si, ñoo ko doon support. They has nañ di saga nit ñi. So we cannot hold Adama Barrow alone accountable. We have to hold all of you accountable. And anybody ko xamantene your name is part of it, you were part of it, you bought, you did anything, dinañ rek sandiga. Ni ñoo rek sandiga moy xam nga lan election bi, we will, if Amie Bensouda was fully involved, I'm sorry, Talib, that will really affect you, and we will come here and we will break it down how to the people, how Nakalala affected, because we know your mother has influence on you. Right now, we just want to stop here because we will come when the time comes, 39 campaign with everything we have against you. If your mother, if this report, investigation, Mugena say ay tahasi, Manela, dina ñew ñu campaign against Talib full force. Gambia nit ñi dina ñu déglu because UDP moom pour campaign si ñoom dafa yomb against ñoom dafa yomb. Def nañ ko 2021 we did it. We were here. We know how to do it. And gënu leen fee mun a wax kenn te ñun li ñoo wax duñ fen duñ farleel facts lañ leen a tegal. Kon nag Talib sa yaay wax ko ne mu teg mu réglé mu teg bépp trait bu mu am na ko teg si suuf because it will all come back to you. It will backfire on you because ñun ñu ngi fi Gambian si ñu ngi fi dañoo déglu te dañ wax leen dinañ leen wax ne leen gis nga ñi nekk di binda ñun mi nekk di bari wax ni di wax di binda fii majority of Gambians they already have a perception about UDP and dañoo ñëw rek dabali ko waat xam nga olof li ñoo wax ne dabali ko waat dañoo ñëwoon delloo affaire si ni ñu ko defee woon rek 2021 ak ni ñu ko doon defee 2020 from 2017 to 2021 we were here campaigning against UDP and the Gambian people believed us and they voted against UDP. Loolu moo waraloon sax a lot of people ne duñ votal ñoom Halifa duñ votal ñeneen dañoo votal Adama Barrow because dañ ragal UDP government because of this kind of behavior ni ñoo gisee nii ngeen a def te loolu la ñoo dellusiwaat and we will do it te bii dafa gën a tar because dañoo am evidence gis naa ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ñëw di support Amie Bensouda di wax naan Amie Bensouda dafa am right. I shame on all of you. Dafa am right is a private citizen pursue. Shame on you. Shame on you because yéen a bokk fi ngeen dëkka because yéen da ngeen xamante because Gambia lii moo fa nekka loolu nag Gambia dafa war a passé loolu. Gambia dafa war a passé loolu. Amie Bensouda amul benn right pour sue kenn after she receive our salary. She has no right. Yéen a ma gën a xam ne yéen mi ko wax yéen jàng ngeen xam ngeen àddina xam ngeen ne public official standard si ñu leen tegal pour ñu ñëw di claim defamation dafa xaay yéen a ko gën a xam yéen a si west bi fii gis ngeen ne fii nii amul luñ du def nit amul luñ du wax nit. Sometimes I'm not saying even people should go there and start lying but people are accused of things. People are being held accountable every day fii kenn du leen sue. Amie Bensouda li ñoo wax nii rek muy dem su lim ko defee moom may wax mu naan dafa dem Facebook ak patati patata danga fa na Facebook dañ jëfi traité nonsense yooyu Facebook dañ la faale fii kenn bindu fi dara Facebook pour ñun xam nañ Facebook community guidelines yi xam nañ ko. Nobody has broken any nobody broke any guidelines here ba Facebook di war a génnee nit. People will fight danga fa na Facebook yëfi dictateur yi nekk Gambia moom moo nekk fii nii. Pour Facebook nga dem rek ne oh nañuy génnee post ñu génnee ko patati patata. Oh I have lawyers in UK so who cares? You have lawyers in UK so amee lawyers fii people are saying lu gën a garaaw li la nit ñi di wax in the west. ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi liggéeyal nit ñi lan la leen nit ñi di dem nit ñi bor bu set ñuy liggéeyal nit ñi ñuy dem ñu leen a sànni nen di leen def dara lan la leen nit ñi di wax duñ leen def tous. Dara duñ leen ko def gis ngeen Dr Cissé bi mu demee America li ko gaa yi doon def foofu noonu seen own supporters li ñu doon def Dr Cissé. What happened? Nobody was arrested because they know that these are public officials. Nothing will happen. So therefore lan lañ fi def Amie Bensouda lan lañ ko fi wax loo xam ne is defamatory ba ngeen a wax naan am na right pour ñu dem pursue nit lan lañ ko fi wax lu aay. Adama Barrow liñ ko fee wax Adama Barrow demuñ ne dafa rey sacrifice doomam ji. People were saying Adama Barrow sacrifice his own son loolu moo gën a graaw. Sa doom ni mitee nga am doom jur doom jabaram toog di déglu loolu ak loolu ni mitee ñu naan Adama Barrow dafa dem sacrifice doomam ji lu miti loolu lan la gis naa yéen da ngeen demoon ne Adama Barrow dafa su Adama Barrow waxoon ne dafa su yéen mii wax ne Amie Bensouda am na right pour su dama la ne yéen mii yéen ay wax ne Adama Barrow is a public official Amat Bah liñ ko jiiñ nag moom tamit xanaa amu der dama leen a laaj na ñeneen ñi nekk si government yi Adama Barrow bi every day ñu ñëw di leen ji Minister of Health lan lañ ko fi jiiñu sàcca may Amat Fatim mi nga xam ne du may àndaa moom amul luñ ko fi defut amut luñ ko fi jiñut ne moom la def. A lot of people duma fi toog sax di name turi ni yéen a ko gën a gis waaye yéen moom da ngeen rek xam naa leen. Most of these people are scared of UDP xam nañ leen. We've been here with you guys. You see da ngeen ne nekk si fence bi di dili dali ku ko si gis ku gis sa boppa nag nga jël li ma wax soo si gisee sa boppa nga jël because that's how you guys are. moom laa leen a wax ne fii ñun fii li ñoo wax Amie Bensouda amul benn right pour receive suñ salary ba pare dem naan dafa suuken. Imagine that ridiculous amount of money. Like, because Amie Bensouda know exactly what she's doing. She know that let me mention this amount of money because the average, not average Gambia, nobody in Gambia has that amount of money. Does she even have that amount of money herself? Put on nan or put them fake on it so you could live in it. No fee talk nan, okay. So you get halis bu bari bi nit ñi dinañ daw. Like, who's gonna be scared? Nobody is scared. Ken ragalut fi Amie Bensouda ak ñi ànda moom ñun dëgg bi la ñoo wax. Amie Bensouda suñ salary lañ ko fay. Kan la ñoo fay 500,000 a month ba pare report bu boo xam ne ñu ne is incomplete. Nga def liggéey boo xam ne is incomplete ba pare nga ne duñ ko wax. Ba pare ngeen ñëw am audacity di face people di wax people naan nañ ko lifin nañ ko am na right pour suu. Amul benn right pour suu te dinañ continuer di wax te duñ ko ragal luñ déggal dinañ ko wax. Carrément fii lañ ko ñëwee di ko wax. So Magia Wahne, for those people who are saying that she's been singled out, yes, we're gonna single her out because she was Yaya Jammeh's acting justice minister. But pare mu ñëwaat tamit mom also moo nekk the legal drafts person for Yaya Jammeh. Most of those laws that people were claiming Yaya Jammeh was using it, she was the one who drafted, part of those people who drafted it. We're gonna say it. Everything she has done, history has documented it, and Dufi was the gainer. Lolu Dufi gainer. History document nañ ko te dinañ ko wax tey dinañ ko wax ëllëg. Ba pare tamit after all those things ñu inquire about the former Yaya Jammeh government, she has the audacity to sit on any commission. Conflict of interest la loolu tudda. Loolu rek si boppam sa it was wrong and you guys never said. For those people who are sitting here telling people tey ne patati patata, that very xaalis bi waroon a jël sa waru fekkoon ne sax moom am na ngor ba pare am na sax lu moo seet am na lu moo ruus warut koo jël after working for Yaya Jammeh after everything that she has done during Yaya Jammeh, she should have been the first person to say, oh, you know what, dama recuse suma boppa si lii. Why did it? Ya talk ni tell if you gene ne wow that is it Ocean Bay Yaya Jammeh bought Ocean Bay ñu gis ci kayiti ne yow yaay woon looyam bi. Imagine loolu. It's only in Gambia because our standards are low. Ñun li ñoo seet mooy mboka kuñ dëkkal dëkkandoor lu mu def ñu seet excuse di ko faral. Loolu moo tax Gambia du dem moo tax sax man dama dee wax ne gis nga ñun suñ legal system bi dañ war a dem ñu isi ay foreigners naa dee dégga suma somebody fem mahoni dinaa ko daan dégga suma former xarit bi nga xam ne dama jo uloo da moom dinaa daan dégga muy wax ne Gambia dañ war a isi foreigners ñu def leen si suñ legal system bi because suñ defutee loolu ay mbokka yëfi mbokka rek la ñoo seet Gambia loolu lañ dee seet mbokka xarit ñoo dëkka koñ loolu lañ dee seet moo tax suñ dëkka bi ponco because nit ñi dañoo seet lu leen favor rek ak loo xam ne dama wan a def lii de suma mbokka lay seet o dama bañ a wax lii suma mbokka lay seet di nga gis nit sa nga dem corruption bi nekk Gambia yépp li ko waral mooy nonsense yi si la bokka because dañoo gis koo xamante ne suñ bokka la kuñ xam muy def loo xam ne jaarul ñu bugg a see teg suñ tànka di ut all kinds of justification di bugg a koo teg so loolu la this is the reason why we're calling Amie Bensouda because Amie Bensouda li mu fi def yëpp history daf ko document te Amie Bensouda no amount of going around defending Amie Bensouda du mun a tax ñu exonerate ko ne si la bokka fuñ ooyee Faafa Mbay waroon nañ ko faa ooyee period Faafa Mbay ndem si yàlla Faafa Mbay fuñ ko ooyee waroon nañoo ooyee Amie Bensouda fuñ ko ooyee waroon nañ faa ooyee Amie Bensouda te ooyuñ ko fa lu tax amul luñ fa waxul ñoom Faafa Mbay dama la ne Ibu Jallow sax fuñ ko ooyee dañ fa waroon a ooyee Amie Bensouda loolu mooy ali kale gi ooyuñ ko pour lan because of UDP government la woon ngeen xam ko nangul leen ko wax ngeen bugg a wax ne ñun dañ ko ñu fay ko suñ xaalis ngeen ne duñ ko dañ ko ba samba di sa demba lii mooy wax bi Gambia UDP supporters yi nga xam ne man waxuma ñi nga xam ne ñoom la ñoo jox liggéey ëllëg de yéen laa wax ne yéen a man ñii suma cousin lañ ñii suma dëkkandoor lañ ñii suma xarit lañ ñii ñoo bokk koñ dama leen a laaj di leen wax ne leen dama leen a laaj da li ma fa wax yëpp ngeen dégloo ko xel bu leen ma dégloo xol xam naa ne suma dee wax nii laa mel meruma nii laa mel nii laa dee waxee ku nekk daf dee waxee ni mu dee waxee ay mënuma ko su ma ko bëggee contrôle sax duma ko mun nii laa mel léegi bu leen seet ni ma waxee bu leen seet suma kanam bi xam naa ne some of you don't like me I understand you but I'm just listening ne toog leen ngeen teg li ma wax ngeen déglu ko bu leen seetaan suma kanam bi because mun naa am soo leen seetaanee suma kanam bi mu daraansa leen mun naa am soo leen ma dégg seetee di ngeen mer bu leen mer déglu leen maa xol hel bu leen ma dégloo xol ndax li ma leen wax fii yëpp UDP supporters yi nga xam ne yéen a man ñun amuñ di opportunity bi Talib am amuñ di background bi Talib am dama leen a laaj ndax fiyaana ndax Amie Bensouda depuis Yaya Jammeh ba léegi mu nekk nii rek di nekk nii rek lim dajale ñu naan Amie Bensouda is a wealthy woman Amie Bensouda how did she get it if you were given the same opportunity or if you are in the same position seen papa yi seen yaay yi bi Amie Bensouda of course you will have the same thing that Talib am xaalis bi mu am di ngeen ko am doonut ko judduwut si famille bu am aleel dama ne lawyer yi nekk Gambia bari nañ ñoom Aïda Dramé ñu ngi fa ñoom Cissé ñu ngi fa kii Cissé ñu ngi fa ñoom ñëpp a ngi fa dama leen a laaj ñooñu ñëpp seen tur dafa feeñ si Yaya Jammeh ñu ne draftal nañ ko lifin déedéet ñu ngi fa ñu ngee liggéey am na kees yoo xam ne soo leen ko yóbbulee xam naa suñ ko sottee xoolaat ko dañoo ne duñ ko jël so therefore maa ngi wax ne is it Amie Bensouda alone moo fa nekk ñu tudda ko si Yaya Jammeh nguuram Jammeh commission bi ñu wane ne am na parastatal si moo fa nekkoon seen lawyer te xam nañ naka li fa nekkoon suñ buggee wax ne nguuri Jammeh li fa nekk yëpp dafa bon ñi doon liggéey foofu yëpp daan bon kon moom nañ ko si boole te kon su fekkee ne dafa bon amatutoon droit pour waratu ñëwati toog di investigate Yaya Jammeh loolu mooy ali kalaj bi amul droit pour def ko amul droit pour ñëw pour impose ñu doomam loolu moo fi nekka su dëgg rek suñ ko wax loolu moo fi nekka waaye déedéet because yéena mooma ànda yéena mooma bokka political party doo leen ko nagu seeni maa ngi leen a wax ne leen seeni li ma leen a wax fii nii seeni yow moom suma waay nga yow moom UDP bu neete ret nga yow moom UDP bu baax nga li ma wax nii du nekkut ne yëfi bañ UDP la yëfi dëgga laay wax nañ ko teg rek si dëgga Gambia mbir mi nañ ko tempo ñu teg ko si dëgga suñ ko tegee si dëgga rek dinañ yóbbu suñ dëkka bi fi ñu ko war a yóbbu mooy ne ñi nga xamante ne dañoo ñëw di pasaree alali nit ñi di jël lu ëpp yëpp di ko ràcca si seen boor nañ leen ñu wax ne leen doy na teel leen seen loxo yi doy na what you have stolen so far is enough. You have set up your businesses, you have your estates. I'm saying multi-million estates. Them len gen ligay privately, gen buying your government because these people are trying to come back in to take more from the people. This is there. But this is not. It's bigger than Adama Barrow. What is happening? Adama Barrow alone cannot do this. Adama Barrow had help, and the people who were helping Adama Barrow was the people that was in government with him. And we all knew that Adama Barrow during that time, sir, there were people who were running the government, not him. We all knew, we saw them, we all knew, we were all here. When the time comes, we will bring everything back to show you who were out here. When we're out here to come back, pour campaign, tigi, film campaign, jotangut. Sunyo didn't learn one who was saying what, who was doing what. Nyanyo enable Adama Barrow. Nyanyo jo Adama Barrow fit. Then change the dafa def 3 years. 3 years. Dafa pass. Adama Barrow was saying that he want to stay 3 years. Some people enable Adama Barrow. They enable Adama Barrow. New Joko fit. Adama Barrow you change his mind to stay. And then because of power. Linyo wa nerek power corrupt. Lulu mo fi dal Adama Barrow. Mu ñew nak ñom ñep ñuy xéccio li mo leen lifin su fekkone ne tay ñu ngi anda Adama Barrow ba légui Adama Barrow wacca jox Ousainou Dabo mu nekk ci ron Adama Barrow tay li ñoo wax ni duñ ko fi wax ñom dañoo ñew di defend Adama Barrow kon nak dañoo sét Gambia jotna pour ñu sét ñi nga xamné dekk lañ jital luñ pati ñi jox leen suñ goor way ñi nga xamné every time they jital pati they jital ñuy andal moy UDP we need to watch out for these people. So this is what I came here to tell you. We are going to continue mentioning Amie Bensouda until we see otherwise. But if we continue mentioning her name after the investigation, if we soon prove that Amie Bensouda is part of it, we will campaign against Talib. We will come back. Depend na nak si ko wax du everybody la ñoo ñew fi di leral li ñu wax am na ñoo xamne waxi picc ramatu la ñoo wax ñun faale wuñ leen ñi nga xamne they have mun na dinañ xam ne ñii dañoo nax askan wi dinañ ñoo ñu leeral waaye ñeneen ñi ñoom dinañ leen bàyyi ñu fly jërë ngeen jëf have a good weekend